Hi everyone, this is Dee with the Paper Drawer. I wanted to share with you today the Halloween journals that I've just completed. These are the three, and then I've got 2 or 3 more in the works that I'd like to try and complete if I can. So we'll see how far I get. But I wanted to flip through these. These will be in my Etsy shop probably sometime tomorrow. But I'll do a flip through with you right now. On this first one, it is a 7 Gypsies chipboard cover. So I've done the rings because I love the rings because you can add to it, you can take away, whatever. So I did some stitching, and I seem to be tangled there. And I did the vintage chandelier crystals I got at an estate sale. I have a couple jars of those. I did the Tim Holtz bones and the little bug, the little cat, and the paper doll. So let me just go inside. I did my usual bookmark. It's got a Tim Holtz spider, and it's on a little swivel, so if it gets turned around, you can just flip back. So I did that. I added a loan department receipt, vintage, little side pocket. Couple of little pockets here with Tim Holtz Ephemera, paper doll. And then this little tab is from Mateo. It's Arteo Mixed Media. And this is what it looks like. It's a digital that he has in his shop. So it looks like this. And then this is a coffee dyed. Okay. So they're really kind of neat. You can enlarge them, reduce them, etc. So that's a napkin. This is just a construction. I think he was a cabinet maker. He jotted down diagrams and notes and receipts just on yellow paper. A little pocket. Some messy stitching. Vintage bingo card. This is Mateo's orchid paper. Very pretty. This is Tim Holtz. I just did some journaling cards. Just kind of tucks in there. Some stitching. Little vellum. I love this. This is from his chapter 3. It's a 3D embossing folder. I made it into a pocket. It comes in a regular embossing folder size, but I just went ahead and trimmed around it. Put 2 pieces of ephemera in it. And I used rub and buff on this one for the silver. I really like that rub and buff. Here's original blueprint from the antique store. I have several pieces of this. Tim Holtz journaling cards. One's kind of crumpled up, so it looks kind of old. Here's a reproduction, sorry for the glare, reproduction postcard. Here's a photo card, and that's a vintage picture I had. Same with this one. This is Tim Holtz. And then this is his 3D. And this time I used gold on it. So I really like how that looks. Okay. Fold out for journaling. Some of Mateo's paper. This is the cigarette package paper that he made. This is a vintage envelope. It does not have a year. It's empty. I received, when I bought a lot of vintage letters, documents, and so forth, it was all in one bundle. A lot of the envelopes were empty, which was fine. You can put whatever you want in them. But this is a Tim Holtz die. I thought it was kind of cute to put it on a vintage envelope. So that just sticks there. Here's one of Tim Holtz's cat. Skeleton. This is my sister April's painted paper. This is Tim Holtz also. It's his numbers. It's the 3D. And this is just a journaling card. It's a digital. And this is a piece of fabric. I just stitched it on. Journaling paper, grungy paper. This is a vintage letter. I'm going to include one in each of the books. I have not read it, so I don't know what it says. This one looks like it's either 1849 or 1949, the postmark. Here is a veteran's check envelope. You can put whatever you want in it. It has something in it, but it's vintage. Wallpaper. Some journaling. Pages. Just some stitching. Here's a little bag. Probably put some goodies in here and put it in the box once it's purchased. Just a cat and just some collaging, layering. Okay, so that's this book. On this one, it has the chandelier. It's got Tim Holtz frame, the little metal word, cheesecloth. This is actually from a vintage optical case. I took the case apart and I took these out. Here's my bookmark. Let me see if I missed. No. No. All right, I was just looking for something. Okay, and this is just journaling pages. Mateo's paper. I believe that's a cigarette package paper also. I love this. This is Tim Holtz. It's a cathedral die, a window die. And what I did was I went ahead and cut it again out of Halloween paper, and then I just shadowed it. I made several of them, and you can even use, whoop, that's one-sided, but here's this one. Here's this one, and you can even use the other side, but I like that. You can reveal it any way that you want. This one's a little different. It doesn't show the reveal down on the long parts here. Okay. Here's another one. I think this is the same. Yeah. And you can even reveal more. I don't know. Not sure if I like this one. I think my personal feeling is I think it's just a little bit too much reveal. But it's different. This side doesn't look too bad. And then this is what it looks like just by itself. I really felt it just needed something. But it's a really cool die. I like this page, so I just made it a fold out. I didn't want to cut it off or anything because it's one big picture. I made some vellum with Mateo's technique of using wax. It turned out really well, but I like this paper. And here's just a vintage reproduction postcard. I used rusted washers as little reinforcement looking. I didn't glue them down because I wanted them to move. So here and there throughout these books, I just added some rusted washers. Here's this vintage envelope. It is from Greece, 1955. It's coming to Oklahoma. But I thought that was cute. Painted paper. Here's a doily. Here's the office calendar. Here's some jelly print. Came from my girlfriend. She did pass away. But I have quite a bit of her work, and it's beautiful. So I wanted to incorporate that. I did this coffee dye doily and then put a feather on this page. Here's the black doily. Did some die cutting. This is a vintage ledger. I made this little tag. This is Mateo's paper. It was in color. I'll show it to you. And I changed the printer to black and white. So you get quite a few. He's done 2 versions of it. One with script in the back and without. This is the one without. So this is this one here. So you have your options. I like the one with the script, but this one's fine too. They're beautiful. I hope you pop over to a shop and take a look. Here's another one. Again, just turn them black and white, and they look Halloween. Or they just, you know, not the beautiful color that it is. But they're pretty nice. Here's this one. I actually did this one in black and white, and I haven't used it yet, but here it is in black and white. So it's kind of neat, kind of fun to do, but I just kind of thought about it. I thought, oh, let me try it, and it turned out pretty nice. A photo card, fabric. I had these for a long time, and it changes. I really like that. It's just old. I've had them a long time, but I thought I'd throw one in. Here's the washers again. Little pocket. These are Mateo's tags. I printed one on vellum, polka dot, and there's the cat. And I put it on a brad, and you can just journal on the back. He also did a number set. And these are the 3 that come in the set. And if you noticed, the borders are different. Well, you get all 3 when you purchase the digital. They're really nice. So I printed them on cardstock, and they're just journaling spaces. Vintage bingo card. Deli paper. Here's another letter. And there is something in it. Haven't read it. This one is 1943. University of Virginia Hospital. Going to this person. Blueprint paper. You're probably going to see this a lot in my journals. I have quite a few pages of the INS guest register. And here's the VA envelope. There's some rusted washers. Here's an old letter, part of it. This is from Forever French off of Etsy, Louise's shop. It's original, it's handwritten, it's beautiful. Didn't want to cut it, but it was a tall booklet, and I wanted to incorporate it. So it's, I just cut it and put it in. Scrapbook paper. Here's the washers again. And on this one, I went ahead and just glued this one down. Gold rub and buff. And a Tim Holtz Ephemera. And then this is the last page. Tim Holtz also has the number that came in this series. I believe it's still chapter 3. And it's an embossing folder with rub and buff. This is Mateo's number tags that he did. And then I just layered it over corrugated board. Let me show you Mateo's tags. This is what it looks like. And he's done it in the format where you can reduce them. So that's really cool. This is what it looks like when it's on coffee dyed paper. So that's really cool. So that's this one. Okay. That'll be in my shop also. We'll do this one. Pretty similar. The vintage chandelier crystals. Tim Holtz cheesecloth, Tim Holtz candle. Okay, so that's the cover. The bookmark. Here is the cathedral window and the cat. Here's the washers. This one just has a envelope. It's pretty, brittle, I guess you'd say. 1927. I may put a piece of faux tape on here to save that. And then I just put the Tim Holtz die cut on it. Okay, that's Tim Holtz. I made this tag. I have a little sidekick machine, and it just takes the smaller dies. And I like that machine just for something quick like that. Here's some more of the jelly print from my girlfriend. This is a little bat. I just punched one hole and just put it on one of the rings. Here's another vintage envelope. I believe the date is either 1898 or 89, or it's 1989. But it's vintage, it's old. And I believe this is empty. Yes, so you can put something in it. And then that's the Tim Holtz die. Here's the washers again. This is a CD case, as you can recognize it. I put mica, like broken glass, on it. And this is a Tim Holtz Ephemera. A lot of you are familiar probably with mica. It is a natural, I don't know what you want to call it, plastic. It does have layers, so as you can see, it's got some glare on it, but you can peel it. And then you just break the edges, and it looks like broken glass. So the effect is there. I like that. So I added it. Here's part of the Brookfield Inn guest ledger. Here's part of a letter. Here is the reproduction postcard lace. Here's a card that I got at the thrift store. It was pretty, whoever made it. I went ahead and covered the back, but I thought I would add it. It's really pretty. Here is a letter from 1946. It has an actual letter in it. I have not read it, so that's included. Here is the VA envelope that checks came in. Doily. Handmade paper, fabric, painted paper. Here's a little butterfly, Tim Holtz. Coffee dye. I printed this digital on vellum. Here's some more of the washers. It's really pretty. I have the patterned vellum paper. Here's Mateo's digital black and white, and this time it has the script on it. Forever French. Deli paper. Title card. This is a stack of Mateo's tags. I went ahead and did it on vellum, and then I just put a stack in here that you can journal on. Just a variety. The old office appointment calendar. Here's some more washers. Blueprint. From an old book of architecture. Ledger paper. Braille. This is Mateo's paper. I believe this is a cigarette package paper. Scrapbook paper, grunge paper. And this is the last page. Okay, so that's this one. It's pretty chunky, but anyway, so that's this one. I wanted to show you one more. It's a work in progress right now. It is a Tim Holtz book, a 2-ring binder. This is 3D. And of course, this is all I'm going to do to the front. I covered the front with some of Tim Holtz wallpaper. The back is also Tim Holtz wallpaper. I need to do something back here. This one is grunge, but the pages are not really sticking out far from the edge of the book. I wanted this one just to stay within. So this is, I'll decorate some of the pages. I stenciled, but I'm going to probably leave almost this one a little bit naked, and I'll probably add some goodies in a bag that someone can decorate the pages if they want. I'm going to add these few things plus a little bit more, but this will be a pocket, and this may be also a pocket or used somewhere. I have an oversized tag of owls, and this is a digital. I like that. It's got a little bit of purple flower in it. And then I've got this from Forever French. It's a photo album, and you just stick your pictures in it. It's really cool. So I have several of these, so I'm going to include one of those. But I like I said, I like the ring journals. I'm on that kick right now, so it's kind of neat. It's vellum that I printed on. And this is a Tim Holtz transparency. Okay, so this one will be in my shop also, just I'm not sure when. I've got a couple more to do, ringed ones, and they may be a little bit smaller, and they might be naked journals. I probably won't do much decorating or ephemera in it. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.